Ukraine. Uh, you may hear a lot of this country at the moment from news, from people from the internet, etc. And the first thing I'd like to say is please do not say the Ukraine, because it goes back to the Soviet tradition of naming this country. The reason of that is because it was called the Soviet Socialistic Republic, and that's why we used the article "the." So please say Ukraine. So enough of that. What we call the state, actually. So the modern names of the countries, actually, they were different a few hundred years ago. Only a few hundred years ago, no one would call France. Germany was not Germany in terms that we understand at the moment. Italy, etc., etc. The thing is by which we define the country nowadays, is the territory. And the modern territories, the modern borders of the countries were formed actually after the World War II by the legal establishment of the world. And that's, I believe, we should stick to. Like Russia doesn't, unfortunately. The other factor which can determine the country is the language. I suppose that's what the half-dead 70-year-old freak on the 6 feet on the leash does. We have here in Ukraine Russian-speaking people. And these cities, these Russian-speaking cities, were attacked in the first place, which is a paradox. You see, the UK, the USA, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, they speak English. What's the problem? Oh, I'm sorry, Canada speaks French too. And vice versa, Switzerland, Belgium, Holland, Italy, actually, those are the countries where different languages, they coexist and go side by side together. And it's not a problem. Customs and mentality, those are the key factors that play starring role in understanding the state, the country. That is the issue, actually. If you can't work properly and speak Russian, then you are probably Russian, but not Ukrainian. And if you rotate that, you might turn Russian-speaking Ukrainian appeared to have natural habitat somewhere in eastern Ukraine, Donetsk or Luhansk region, and probably you wanted more. The people of our country, I don't have to prove that. They are strong. They have eyes wide open. We share international values, but we do have our national traits and some details that can be determined. Varenics, borscht, for example, chicken Kyiv. We know at the moment in the IT crowd, those people who are in this issue, they understand what I'm saying. By the way, we won Counter-Strike World Championship, if I'm not mistaken. Russian defense idiot officials should have known that, actually. We have the most beautiful girls. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. And surely, you see what our military guys do. The mentality has the biggest portion of what you have in common in terms of the terrain. That's how you make borders and countries, and that's how you feel from the inside. There were a lot of conflicts, but the World War II result seems to be that obvious that the Cold War shouldn't have existed. whose ambitions were to keep the war wheel going. Those who didn't realize that it was more constructive to see what was going on in their backyard. Start from that. You can have a try. The toponym Ukraine seems to be the little controversy to some historian, such as Putin, for example. And it might be translated like the borderland sheep or borderland hound. Some of us would deny this mythology, but it is true because we were in the middle of the borders of the empires or lookalike countries. Initially, Kievan Rus would rule, then when the Tatar invasion, Moscovia as a Kievan Rus successor would appear. That just to cut it short, you know. Wildfield walked around our terrain, then the Cossacks had their way. These guys are now reincarnated in the battlefields. And as far as you can see, they are like the fish in the sea. Кривий Ріг, Запоріжжя, Київ, Херсон, Kharkiv. Orcs, up yours. Take a deep breath. Learn some history. It will help you. We have a bad need of a shave-off such mentality as Russians have. Someone can say that Dostoevsky and Chekhov were good. But they were good only in reverse blowjob of the inconvenience of the state institutions, which can be called as a Psychiatry 69 position quiz adventure. You know, let's live in comfort and peace. Slava Ukraini!